Cinema Classics is sponsored by the Gateway Film Center and is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Cinema Classics is sponsored by the Gateway Film Center and is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to shows online at wcbe.org. I'm John DeSando.
I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
This is Cinema Classics.
Man, do we have a cinema classic, an all-time, one of the most astonishing things that have happened at the Oscars in the history of that event. I mean, you remember things like Sacheen Littlefeather, the streaker who ran across the stage when David Niven was performing, the mistake Warren Beatty made reading. Those kind of things pale in comparison to Will Smith losing his mind and slapping Chris Rock.
Clearly Chris Rock's joke about Will Smith's wife's hair, given her medical condition, was completely inappropriate. It's hard to believe anybody knew that he was going to use that joke.
I'm sure that he didn't think about it. I think Chris Rock is, one of our best stand-up comedians. He's ad-libbing in the moment. He's hosted a number of these kind of events. We know that he is...
he's certainly not ad-libbing that.
You don't think he's ad-libbing? Here's what I think. I think Chris Rock sees her at some point in the evening and makes a mental note to say he likes the hair, and he's going to make a G.I. Jane joke. Now, let's unpack it for a minute. We can do the whole show on this, by the way. The G.I. Jane joke is because Demi Moore had such short hair in G.I. Jane, right? He's saying, in a way, you look great. You can be in G.I. Jane too. Now, I know it's an unfortunate joke because I don't think Chris Rock knows that she has alopecia.
Wow,
I don't think he knows that, John.
That's generous of you.
I don't think he knows it. I don't think he... First of all, Chris Rock isn't poring over Jada Pinkett Smith's Instagram account. By the way, somebody like that having alopecia, not exactly headline news. Not exactly stage 4 cancer. Not exactly a whole host of other things. I have eczema. If he made a joke about, I don't know that he would know that. I don't think he makes the joke if he knows it.
Well,
because I think he knows. I think he's also a smart enough guy to realize that he's going to it's going to just cause him more problems.
It's the kind of gaffe that you could let go and comment upon later.
Yeah.
But having somebody of Will Smith's stature storm on the stage and slap him for that is of course, the punishment for Will Smith is that in his lifetime he'll never overcome that.
Right.
Unless he starts some kind of a movement about mental illness or about illness.
I got you. I got 2 points to make about this.
Of course you do.
And then I want to move on. 2 things. Number one, if it was The Rock that made the joke, this doesn't happen.
Oh.
Will Smith quietly sits in his chair and scowls.
You think he doesn't come up and slap The Rock?
Absolutely not. Or anybody over 5'9", for that matter. Will Smith is not a real-life tough guy. Will Smith is not the street urchin that, he played in Fresh Prince. He's not that guy. I don't think he has the cojones to do that to a larger man. Secondly, can we all stop clutching our pearls? The guy didn't cause World War III, didn't invade Ukraine. It's an embarrassing display of toxic behavior.
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. It's going to stain his win. This asterisk covering over that, I think, will, there's a lot of things to say about it. It's disgusting, but it's also not a war crime. And, let's put it in perspective. There's a country being invaded. The world faces the threat, realistically, of World War III in some ways. So let's put it in its perspective.
But for the entertainment industry, this is a major night. And this is one where you don't want this kind of embarrassment, where this kind of embarrassment is not called for under any circumstances. And I will end up by saying he is a nice guy. This is not the way he is in real life. But I will tell you, in real life, I believe he is egocentric. And his egocentricity came out on this one.
Yeah, I really listen. I think
as if it were all about him.
I think he's a good guy. Ultimately,
Yes.
I just think he lost his mind. I mean, I've had anger issues in the past. I can see myself losing control in some ways, but yeah, it was. He accomplished three things. One, he undercut his award. His the memory of that finest moment, the highest peak of his career. He ruined it. Two, he just gave Chris Rock 1 year's worth of material. And three, the Academy should be thanking him because more people will tune in next year.
Right.
The ratings went up 15%. I guarantee you next year they'll go up 25.
I'm just wondering what the future of the head of security is.
Yeah. I don't know. Next year everybody will be handing out awards from across a moat.
All right, you're right. Let's get past this. It was a moment that required us to comment.
It was unforgettable. I was really rattled by it in a weird way. I know not a lot of people care about the Oscars like we do or I do. You know, I have a lot of fond memories of this thing since I was a kid. I was really sort of oddly, I couldn't shake it the next day. It was, and part of it is that here's an admission, I so long for bad people, who say gross things to be physically put in their place. And there are plenty of other people who deserve being smacked across the mouth. Chris Rock wasn't one of them, and it was just sad.
It's a bad commentary also on violence. And, however, ironically, in an industry that trades on violence. There are a whole bunch of ironies in this, and as you say,
we could do the whole show.
I know
like
we
I
could.
said.
All right, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm tired of this Oscar stuff. Could we?
Okay, let's
talk
change
about
gears.
Yes.
By the way, so it is a good segue because while we've been talking and thinking about the Oscars these past 2 months and who's going to win and all the other critical awards, there have been a handful of movies that have come out, that have been seen, that have been forgotten about, ignored, that should yet to be seen.
Oh, I think so.
So let's talk about them.
Yeah.
Grab bag of new movies.
Yes, or movies that have not been seen, or movies that have been forgotten.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start out because I think this might have been your idea in the beginning. So go ahead.
There's a movie on Hulu called Fresh, starring Sebastian Stan and this young woman whom I've never seen before, but she's really great. It's a sort of a dark satire on talk about toxic masculinity.
Yes.
Not only about toxic masculinity, but how it affects the dating scene and online dating in particular. So basically, these guys meet, they hit it off, and then he takes her out for a weekend vacation, and she learns that he kidnaps women and dismembers them for an underground cannibalism market.
So, as we were just talking about Will Smith.
Yeah.
as I said, trades on it.
Yeah. So the movie's funny. Did you see it?
No, because I don't have Hulu.
Okay.
And you're pushing me
to it.
Rent it. I did, and that I picked up on Apple TV for Coda. So I'm moving that way.
Okay.
Now how about my Come On, Come On?
I love Come On, Come On.
Right.
Saw that in the theaters though.
Well, I wasn't saying streaming. I'm just saying ones that would be forgotten.
I see.
Talked about.
Come On, Come On is a very sweet movie.
Joaquin Phoenix doing a terrific job.
Very, now that I think of it in hindsight, I had really such high hopes for that movie. I thought it was going to be this amazing. I thought maybe we'd see it a contender in the Oscars.
Yes.
Before I saw it. After I saw it, I thought, very sweet minor key movie. Not a lot of stakes riding on it. So I think it'll be a movie that people discover maybe later.
As he travels the country interviewing teenagers for a documentary. Mm-hmm. There was something really very educational about it that I liked.
Oh, I love the kids in the movie.
Yeah.
The kids were one of the I thought one of that kind of framing device would become intrusive or undermine the central relationship, but it doesn't. Those kids are so hopeful.
Yep.
It's one of the most hopeful things I've seen in recent cinema. And now, would you believe that Cinema Classics is out of time? We're already out of time. So that's how much time you pontificated
Right.
about
I know.
the Oscars
I
and
know.
Will Smith's violent
I know.
behavior
All right.
that
So
we're done now.
what's our audience going to do?
The only option they have at this point to hear about new movies is to head on over to WCBE.org and the podcast experience and listen to Double Take.